Okay, I'm going to show you how to fillet a barramundi. This is a plate size farmed barramundi. Now I've got this great filleting board, but it's great to have, but it's not essential. You can use this just to pin the fish's head like so. Now the first cut, up under the fin there, and you bring the knife blade up to the gill plate and you cut into the fish there at 45 degrees towards the head and under the fin. Now once you get to that point, you roll the blade back towards the tail of the fish, and with the point of the blade no deeper than halfway through the fish, that's where the ribs start to come out of the spine, about there. So with the blade no deeper than that, you just run along the spine until you reach the back of the rib cage, which is about there. The rib cage comes to about there and then finishes. At that point you can put the knife blade right through the fish, and angling the blade down towards the spine a little, you run the blade right down the fish. You can see the flesh has been cut neatly away from the spine of the fish. Now to continue up over the rib cage, use the tip of the knife and slowly work your way up over the rib cage. You see the ribs just there, and we just work the tip of the knife over the rib cage until you reach the end of the ribs, at which point we go back down into the gut cavity. And that's the end of the ribs there, and so we can go back down into the gut cavity. Okay, so now we just cut that fillet up the centre line, and there it is. There's one fillet. Now turn the fish over again, pin him by the head, and then it's just a repeat of what we did before. So the knife comes up under the gill plate there, 45 degrees towards the head. You cut down to the spine. Now don't cut through the spine, it's important you don't cut through the spine. You want to leave the skeleton intact, and again with the tip of the blade about where the line of ribs comes from the spine, you angle back and work your way back down the spine of the fish. As soon as we get to the back of the rib cage, which is about there, we can push the knife right through and then work our way along the fish. And again we've got all the meat off the fish hard up against the spine there. Now again, tip of the knife up under that flap of meat and work the tip of the knife up over the rib cage like so. As soon as we hit the end of the rib cage, we can go back down into the gut cavity again. There we are there. More of that one, back into the gut cavity, and there's our second fillet. Okay, so the carcass now can be discarded of. That's the fish frame, it's still got the guts in, so we haven't had to gut the fish or anything. Now to skin the fillets, this is quite easy, but they're difficult to hang on to. They're slippery. Now this board's got serrations here that'll hang on to the skin for me. If you don't have one of these, don't panic. You can, with a normal chopping board, you can just use a fork and just stab the tail of the fish with a fork to hang onto it. You bring the knife, always work from the tail, and you work the knife with it angled at about 10 degrees from parallel to the board, and in short strokes you just work your way down the skin. Now the angle of the knife is quite important. If you feel that you're going through the skin, then you've got too much angle on, and if there's any flesh left on the skin, then you haven't got enough angle. Now that's a good skin there, there's no flesh left on that at all, so we've got all the meat, and there's the fillet. Okay, I'll show you that one again. Pin the tail and work your way down. There it is. And again, another nice fillet there. And that's it. So we've got two nice fillets there that are ready to go straight, as soon as they're washed, go straight onto the pan.